Jag har alltid så jävla svårt att börja med. Hello, welcome to Archive Jocks. I'm Jocks. The date is April 6, 2023. My state of mind is kinda frustrated. Cause I've been wanting to do this video. I mean, I like doing these videos, so I wanted to do it, but I just didn't have the energy, or like, I just haven't felt like doing it. And I thought it was actually kind of funny because in the last video I said like, oh, I'm probably gonna do this weekly. And when I said it, I thought to myself like, oh, I shouldn't have said that, because almost every time that I mention me doing something regularly, like or something, I stop doing it. Or like I don't follow up on it, and it happened. So far I've uploaded on like every Wednesday, and I never intended these to be weekly. It just happened because I like doing them weekly, but now it didn't. And just because I said like, oh, I'm gonna do them weekly, I missed it. They're not weekly anymore. Anyway, my state of mind is pretty fine. I'm okie dokie. I'm just like, I'm frustrated because my motivations are low, and I don't want them to be low. But anyway, in this little series that I have, I talk about whatever topics I feel like talking about. I do it because I have a bad memory and I want to record or archive my thoughts so that I can go back and listen to them in the future. Today's topic is happiness, or maybe more specifically the lack of, at least in the text that I'm gonna read, which is now the last one of the ones that I wrote in 2018. Because in this text as I said, I have a very bad memory, so I don't remember exactly my state of mind in 2018, but I do know that I was very depressed. And so talking about happiness was more talking about my lack of happiness. So I don't think I really talk about happiness as a concept, or like just like generally. I kind of explain why I don't feel happy, or like the difference between me and other people. I don't know. You'll see. You'll hear it when I read the text, but I'll read the text and then I'll read what I wrote this year, or like today, I think it was, maybe yesterday, I don't remember. I'll read the text that I wrote in 2018, and then I read something that I wrote recently about just happiness in general. I'll read the text. I have this thing that as soon as I feel happy, I immediately get sad, because I know it won't last. It's incredibly annoying, and probably one of the hardest habits to break. The worst part of it is that it's not hard for me to feel happy. I simply have to stand outside when the weather is gloomy and it's raining, but it's still warm enough to just wear a t-shirt. I get happy by that. Or maybe the right word is content. I don't really know how to explain this properly, but imagine a graph of some sort, where there is a line in the middle that represents your mood or happiness level, and it can go up or down depending on things that happen. Ideally, it will work in the way that if the line is exactly in the middle, you are content, neutral, not happy but not sad either, your most common mood. Then if something good happens, the line goes up and you turn happy. And also the opposite, if it goes down, you get sad. Everyone's graph works differently, but they all got that basic foundation. Mine works in the way that my normal mood isn't neutral. If you would see it as 50% is neutral, 0 is incredibly sad, and 100% is incredibly happy, my personal neutral is about 40%. I'm always a little bit sad. So if you would compare it to someone who has the ideal graph, when something sad happens to them and lowers their percentage by 10%, they're at 40%, which is where I am all the time. This means that if the same would happen to me, I would go down to 30%. That's why those people have a hard time understanding me, because to them it was just a little thing. It only brought them down to 40. It's not that bad. But for me, it brought me down to 30, and that's quite low. That's why it seems to others that I'm super sensitive or overreacting. Usually, your neutral state returns after a while, and the speed of the recovery also varies from person to person. Some people recover fast, while others take more time. But if we go back to the whole me being scared of being happy, there's two different ways I get scared, and it depends on how happy I get. The first one is when I get so happy I cross that 50%. I'm not used to feeling that, and it scares me because, well, number one, I'm not used to it, and number two, I don't know what to do with it, and number three, I don't know how to make it last. As soon as I realize I'm happy, I get scared of losing it. I get scared of going back to that 40% now that I've got a taste of how it's above that 50%. But it's very self-destructive, as my happiness is cut short by myself and can very easily drag me down to even below 40%. The second one is when I experience something that makes me content, like being in a calm and nice place, eating my favorite food, not feeling stressed out for the first time in a few days. It doesn't make me sad more than it makes me angry, because when I experience something like that, it's like I get up to 50% and I get to see and feel how most people feel all the time. And it feels like such a luxury to me that they're always up there, not feeling sad all the time. They're actually content. And I get angry and sad because it's so unfair. Why do I have to be stuck on 40% all the time? What did I do to deserve that? This thought process usually ends up in me just telling myself that I don't deserve it. I'm not that important, and I haven't done anything that have made me earn to stay on that 50%. So down I go again. As I said, I wrote something now in this year of 2023, but before I read that, I just wanna talk a little about the last things I said here, because it's so strange listening or like reading what you wrote before, or like the weird thing, it's weird to read what your old self wrote when you were feeling so bad. Like bad, I was depressed. I mean, you can hear, I was depressed, and I don't know if I'm depressed anymore. Like, I still have my problems, but I'm not. I feel so much better now than I felt at that time. So reading a text when it's me who have written things like, what did I do to deserve that? I'm not important, and I haven't done anything that have made me earn to stay on 50%. Like, I said that I haven't done anything to earn being fine. I'm so like far removed from that time, so I can read that stuff without feeling really bad or sad about it. But it feels like reading someone else's text, and I don't know, I just pity myself. Like, I feel bad for myself. No one deserves to feel like that they have to prove themselves to be allowed to live. I didn't get into it that much in this one, but like reading all of that made me remember I used to have really, really, really bad panic attacks in high school, and all of them were triggered by me going, I don't know how to explain this in English, I'm sorry, I can't form sentences in English well. My panic attacks were triggered by me almost every night for 2 years, and they were triggered by the fact that I felt like I didn't deserve to be alive. I don't know why I'm talking about this, but it just reading that just made me like reminded me of that, and it feels so weird that I had such a dark time, and now I'm just over it. Like, I don't know. It's like, because I remember it very vividly, well, not vividly, I have a bad memory, as I said like 5,000 times, but like I very much remember how I felt like I didn't deserve to be alive. I felt like I was bothering people by just breathing. I felt like I didn't have a real reason to be sad, and yes, and yet I was sad. So I was like talking shit about myself to myself, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why are you sad when you have no reason to be sad? You don't deserve to be alive because you don't contribute anything to like society or like your family or anything. Like, why are you here? And now I'm just like, I just get tired by thinking about that. Like, I know there are many people out there who right now think like that, and I can't help them. Even though I've been in that place, I have nothing to say that can help, because all I'm thinking is stop. Like, it's such, I want to say like there's no logic behind it, and I don't know. Now I'm not, I'll maybe talk about that more once I get my thoughts gathered around that, because right now I don't even know what I'm trying to say. So we're just gonna move on. Just gonna move on from that. I'm gonna read the other text that I wrote, just generally about happiness. Actually, I just want to say that when I wrote this, I had a really hard time explaining my thoughts, and I'm having a hard time explaining them right now, but I really hope that most people will understand what I mean, and also me in the future, obviously. I mean, you probably do, because you're me, whatever, but I don't know, I have such a hard time explaining myself sometimes. My brain is just not cooperating, and it's getting me a little bit annoyed. But anyway, I'll read. The word happiness is very hard for me to understand, because it feels like everyone has a different opinion on what happiness actually is. And I might also have a bit of a warped view on it, because I've spent most of my life quite depressed and longing to feel happy. I think with the years, I've come to realize that I don't necessarily strive for happiness in the way I perceive other people to be. I strive to feel content. I want to be content with my life, and I want to enjoy it. I don't strive to be happy all the time. I just want to reach that 50% as a baseline, and then sprinkle in some happy moments whenever I can. I think a lot of people are like that too, but it's just that they call that being happy, which, as I said, seems to be a word everyone interprets differently. Are you happy? It's a common question, yet I always hear from people how hard they feel it is to answer it. And I think that's because once you get what you want, once you reach the place you were aiming for, once you feel happy, you get used to it, and the happiness wears off, and you feel content, which makes you want to chase that feeling again, want to chase happiness, which means you need to search for it again. And soon you realize that chasing happiness is an endless endeavor, something you will do for the rest of your life. From what I understand, there are a lot of people who doesn't like this. They find it frustrating that happiness is something you can never permanently have. It's an endless chase, and I understand that frustration, especially as someone who spent the majority of their life either sad or numb, and their only goal in life is to be happy. Of course, it's frustrating to find out that once you fight your way out of that darkness and finally find your happiness, it's not permanent, and you're going to have to fight for it and search for it forever. I did find that frustrating in the beginning, but right now, when I feel like I'm okay and I'm starting to realize what I want out of life, and I am making moves towards that to make that a reality, I I'm not that frustrated about it anymore because I guess just like my view on it has changed, and I don't know, I'm very much for just accepting facts for what they are. Like, if that's just what life is, then the only thing I have to do is accept that and work around it. And it's, again, I found this very hard to explain, but not feeling happiness all the time isn't a bad thing. Because with all things, if you were happy all the time, then you wouldn't feel happy anymore. You would just be fine or whatever. So, you know, it's the whole like you need darkness for there to be light, and like you need to feel sad in order to feel happy. And that's just like a fact of life. That's not something you can have an opinion on. That's just the way it is. So I just accept that. And I don't know, being happy is great. Being sad is not that great. But it's just what life is. I don't care how cheesy it sounds, but those sad moments make the good moments, the happy moments, more worth it. They make them meaningful. I don't know, again, it's so weird to go from like the text that I wrote in 2018 to like how I feel about happiness now, because it's such a difference. Back then I was like, oh man, I don't even know what happiness is. I wish I could feel anything. I wish I could just feel anything. I want to feel something. And then today I'm just like, hey man, being sad isn't that bad. Like sometimes I enjoy being sad because I don't know, I just enjoy feeling things. But that could also be thanks to me being depressed, because I think most people know this, but being depressed isn't just being sad, it's more of like being numb and you don't really feel anything. So going like multiple years of feeling numb and not really feeling anything, being scared of feeling things, to now being fine with them. Like I enjoy being sad now. Like I enjoy feeling things. I obviously don't enjoy being sad, like no one enjoys being sad, you know what I mean. But I don't hide from my feelings anymore. Like when I'm sad, I feel it as much as I can, and I cry, and I feel sad, and I really, I don't know, I just really feel it. I know there's a lot of people that when they feel sad or when they feel angry or whatever, they immediately try to cheer themselves up because they don't want to feel sad or they don't want to feel angry. I do the exact opposite, because I feel like I don't know psychology. I don't know shit, bro. All I know is what I know about myself. So I don't know if this is like, if there's an actual right or wrong answer to how you should deal with emotions. But the way I do it is, if I feel sad, then I just sit in that sadness and I feel it as much as I can. And if I want to cry, I'll cry. I'll fucking cry, bro. And I feel it and I go through it. And it kind of feels like, I feel like this is a very common phrase, but like I let the sadness wash over me, and it feels like a wave. It generally does. Like it comes in hard, and it's just I'm crying, and there's snot running down, and I'm shaking, and I'm crying, and then when I've been sad about it for a while, and I actually let myself be sad, then I'm fine after, because I let myself feel it. The times when I haven't let myself feel my own emotions, it's not like I don't feel them. They're still there. I'm just not dealing with them. I feel them in my stomach, and they're like fermenting, and they're becoming something more than what they once were, and they're just sitting there. So instead, I just feel it. It's the same with being angry. I absolutely get so fucking annoyed at people. I had multiple people do this to me, that when I'm angry, they don't let me be angry, because they immediately just want to fix whatever it is that I'm angry about, which is fine. Like, the thing is, fixing why I'm angry, that's what I want to do too, that's great. But they're like, they fix whatever that's making me angry, and then they just expect me to be happy immediately. I'm like, no, I'm still mad because the thing that happened was really frustrating and I'm still mad about it and I need to go through my anger. But they're trying to cheer me up. And that's like the worst thing you can do to me, because if you joke to me, if you make jokes around me when I'm angry, I'ma fucking hate you. Okay? Hate is a strong word, but I get so angry when people make jokes when I'm angry. I fucking hate it. And there's so many people. I've had so many different people do this to me. Boyfriends, friends, family members, when I'm angry and they just start making jokes. Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up! And I don't know if that's like a normal reaction, because I feel like there's been so many people who do this to me, so I'm like, do people immediately, do they not want to go through their emotions? Like, do they immediately when they get angry, do they just like, oh, you need to cheer me up, make some jokes, quickly now. If I'm angry, you better shut the fuck up. If you're around me, because oh my god, you don't have to be the one who made me angry. That has nothing to do with it. It's just that when I'm angry, I want to sit in that anger, I want to deal with it, because then it will die down and I will be fine. I just have to deal with it. But people don't let me. They're like, no, you can't be angry. Angry is a bad emotion. I need to make you happy again. Shut the fuck up, bro. Let me be mad. I want to be mad. I want to be angry, okay? Yeah, kind of what I want to say about that. Kind of what I want to say about mine. I don't know if there's anything else I want to talk about regarding happiness. I didn't know if I wanted to make this video because I thought it was going to be really fucking short, because I didn't write that much about happiness, but here I am screaming, shut the fuck up. Yeah. Happiness, huh? Well, I can talk a little bit about different ways people feel happy. Or at least specifically how I feel happy, because again, even though I have been severely depressed, I'm also a person who feel happy very easily. I feel happy by small things, and I've always been like that. Which I think is a very good, I want to say proof, but explanation of how depression is like an actual illness. Because me, myself and I am the human being. I have a very easy time to feel happy. It doesn't take much to make me feel happy. I can just eat something good. I can, as I said, walk outside and it's like rainy. I love rain. Oh, and if there's like a fog outside, baby, that makes me happy. And yet, I have been sad most of my life because I've had an illness in my brain. I'm pretty fine. But no, but it doesn't take much. Like wearing clothes that I find both comfortable and cute. Hell yeah, bro. I'm gonna be happy by that. I take a walk, and it's like a nice walk. I listen to music, and most of the fucking shuffle are like good music. I don't have to like search, because you know when you listen to music and like all you do is you skip the songs because you're looking for the song that you want to listen to, but you just skip. And when you have those days when like you want to listen to every single song that comes up, that's a good day. And those days when I wake up having energy and I actually do stuff, love it. Those days when the first thing you do in the morning is have a shower and you just feel good. Hell yeah, bro. I think in general people are a bit too... It's weird because I feel like there's a lot of people who are almost like obsessed with the thought of being happy, but at the same time they don't know what makes them happy. And then they themselves are like, but what is happiness? Like, I don't know. Everyone's happiness is different. And yet, even though that is the case, they always ask other people, well, what do you do to make you happy? Like, wait, figure it out, bro. Maybe that's what life's about. That's also a thing. Everyone keeps asking, like, what's the meaning? What's the meaning of life? Why do I exist? I don't know. Maybe you exist to find happiness, bro. Just like, I'm not gonna start talking about the meaning of life. At least in this one. I'll talk about it in another one, but right now, maybe not. Maybe not. I should. Meaning of life, bro. Nah, bro. Nah. No. Yeah, but that's about it. About happiness, what I feel right now. I think the reason why I don't have much to say about happiness is because I don't care. Yeah, I don't think like happiness is something I need to focus on, something that I need to figure out. I don't think happiness is just one tangible thing to figure out. I think happiness is just something you feel throughout your life. Whenever you do something that makes you happy. Okay, nothing can go on. Ja, nej. That was it. I'm just gonna plug my commission sheet because I can. I take commissions. If you're interested in my art, you wanna have something, I'll take commissions. This is my commission sheet on the screen right now. Hello, I draw. And I would like money. Yeah, that's about it, huh? That's about it. I hope you have a great week. I hope that you feel enough happiness in your life to make you content. And I also hope that you are not depressed, because being depressed sucks. And I would hate that for you. I just hope you're doing good. I really do. Okay, bye!